all the participants. I again welcome all of you to the 6 days workshop in Machine Learning and Artificial Intelligence organized by Chalapati Institute of Engineering and Technology. I hope that you people are doing well and safe with your family during this pandemic situation. Now let's start our today's session. Today's session is extremely important for all of us because from the last 3 days we have gone through the concept of machine learning. What do you mean by machine learning? Machine learning depends on what process, that is data cleaning process. And after that we gone through the overview of machine learning. Okay, we haven't gone through the deep, but we have gone through the overview of machine learning. Today our very important concept we are going to discuss, that is called as the world of deep learning and artificial intelligence, and which is extremely important to get a job in the company. And I will be giving you the quality roadmap and the meaning of deep learning artificial intelligence in the most easy way. So we are organizing this workshop in association with Keyway Research, where we are providing all type of facility to the upcoming generation in terms of skill development. Now, let's start our today's session, that is the world of deep learning and artificial intelligence. What do you mean by the deep learning? What do you mean by artificial intelligence? What I am going to learn in the world of deep learning? What kind of project I will do in the deep learning? What industry is working in the deep learning architecture and artificial intelligence? Everything we are going to deal with in the today's session. Now let's start the today's session. Our biggest motivation in the world of artificial intelligence is that I already said that whenever we are talking about the world of deep learning and artificial intelligence, so we are comparing human being with the computers or the machines. And whenever we are comparing a human being with the computers, so at that time in the comparison, we will find that human being or humans are very good in the image recognition, pattern recognition, emotion detection, emotion feelings. If you are eating some food, so you can identify the taste of food. In that way, humans are far ahead than computers. And computers are far ahead than us, that is machine are far ahead than human being in terms of arithmetic calculations or in terms of memory capacity. So there is a fighting is going on between, a race is going on between human being and machines. So in the today's scenario, still machine is lagging as compared to human being in many aspects, as human beings are very good at image recognition, pattern recognition and so on, but still machine is not doing well. But our motivation in the world of deep learning and artificial intelligence is that only we have to make such a machine which is identifying the images, which is identifying the pattern, and which is feeling the emotions, everything. That world we want to make it in terms of machine. That is the world of deep learning and artificial intelligence. All the multinational companies, all the scientists, all the professionals in the company are working in the same direction, where we have to make such a machine which can give a fight to the human being in terms of all aspects. So that is the world of machine learning and deep learning and AI. I will let you know how the machine is going to achieve this and by what process and what technical process is involved for the image recognition, pattern recognition and so on. Now let's start our today's session. In our today's session, we are going to deal with the meaning of machine learning, which we have already discussed, the relationship between the word machine learning, deep learning and AI. What is the need of deep learning in company? Why companies preferring deep learning? What is the exact definition, practical definition of deep learning? What is the deep learning workflow process, that is a project of deep learning? What are the different types of deep learning architecture we are using in company? What kind of problems we are solving in the company with the help of deep learning architecture? What are the libraries and framework, that is tools or skills required to work in the world of deep learning? What are the job roles available and what are the application? Everything we are going to observe in the most quality way in the today's session. So just listen this session in the most quality way. Those who are very new fresher or those who are experienced also, just follow the roadmap of deep learning in the quality way. Now let's start our today's session. We have already gone through the meaning of machine learning, that is learning from the past data and predicting for the future data. And there are the 4 types of machine learning we have gone through from the last 3 days: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, semi-supervised learning and reinforcement learning. After that, relationship between machine learning, deep learning and AI is such a way that artificial intelligence is the bigger umbrella. It is a very bigger umbrella. Artificial intelligence is our main picture. After that, in artificial intelligence, machine learning is the subset of artificial intelligence and deep learning is the subset of machine learning. So all 3 words are correlated with each other. Artificial intelligence is bigger umbrella. Machine learning is the subset of AI, and deep learning is the subset of machine learning in this way. This is the relationship between artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning, where our aim is very clear. In the artificial intelligence, your aim and objective is that you have to make such a machine which will behave like human. That is your aim and objective in the world of AI. Machine may be anything. I already said machine may be your computer, machine may be a Alexa robot, machine may be a Sophia robot, machine may be a drone, machine may be anything which is learning from data and behaving like human. That is artificial intelligence. And what do you mean by machine learning? From last 3 days, we are learning that it is a subset of AI. In this diagram, you can see that machine learning is a subset of AI, and which is working on the methodology of learning from the past data and predicting for future data. That is machine learning. And finally, today, our objective is of learning the deep learning concept. What do you mean by deep learning? Deep learning is nothing but the study of neurons, neural network, and they are learning from the data and predicting and doing so many applications that we will see in the today's session. So these are the relationship between machine learning, deep learning, and AI. And after that, in this relationship, you will come to know that if you search in the Google, so machine learning and artificial intelligence already introduced to the world in the era of 1959. That is in the era of 1950 to 1960. And today is 2020. Why machine learning is very famous today, deep learning, and very famous today? Because in that era, data availability was not there, powerful computer system was not there. But today we are having the good data availability and powerful computer system. That's why this world is very famous. And today our overall concentration will be to the world of artificial intelligence and deep learning. Now let's start the today's session in the most easy way. We came to know that artificial intelligence is nothing but we have to make such a machine which behave like human. All the scientific methodology, all the professional in the companies are working in this aim only, that we have to make such a machine which replicate the behavior of human. That is AI. And in the AI technology, whenever we are having this objective, so we are having so many application, how human work, how human brain is working. Human brain can understand the language, natural language. Today I am speaking in English language, you people understand the English, so we are communicating with each other. So how the computer will communicate with each other in the English language? Because Alexa is one product. Alexa is one artificial intelligence product. Now Alexa is understanding your English. Whenever you are speaking, Alexa please play this song, Alexa is playing that song. How that Alexa is knowing that which song you are asking and how Alexa is performing the task? That is the world of artificial intelligence. That means we are dividing the artificial intelligence in so many categories related to human being. Our human brain is working and understanding the language. That domain is called as a natural language processing in the world of artificial intelligence. If the machine is understanding by the language or a text or audio, that domain is called as NLP in the world of artificial intelligence. If you are doing the image recognition, we can easily identify the image of person. So in the world of machine learning and AI, what this task means to the machine, that task means the computer vision. So in the world of machine learning, deep learning, and AI, whatever the task we human beings are performing, so we are expecting the same task to be performed by the machine, and machine is performing that task in the most easy way. And how they are performing the task, that task is divided into different category. If machine want to understand from language or text, that task is called as NLP. If machine want to understand the images and video, that task is called as computer vision, and so on. And robotics is the another field of artificial intelligence. So overall, this whatever I am saying from this slide, everything we will discuss today, how we are going to achieve technically with the help of deep learning world. So this is the artificial intelligence world which is changing our day-to-day life. After that, these are the element of artificial intelligence, where you should have the knowledge of machine learning, where you should have the knowledge of deep learning, and then only by combining the machine learning and deep learning knowledge, we can enter into the world of artificial intelligence. Now, how we are going to enter, how we are going to perform the overall task, let's see in the most quality way. After that, machine learning, as I said, is a subset of artificial intelligence, where only one task of machine to learn from the data and predict for the data. After that, deep learning today, which is our main motivation of today's talk, deep learning. What is deep learning? Deep learning is nothing but it is the study of neural network, which will be studied from the huge volume of data, and it will be predicting for the future data. I will let you know this definition in the practical way. Okay, this is a deep learning one. So in the deep learning world, machine learning world, and artificial intelligence world, before entering into the subject, it is very necessary to understand why there is a demand of artificial intelligence in the world, why it is a huge in demand nowadays in the company. So the demand is very simple. As I told you, all these concepts, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning, are totally data dependent. They are totally dependent on data. If you are having the more data available, so more good application you can make. So all the companies are having the huge volume of data available with them, as I said, from the last 3 days. And with that huge volume of data, company want to apply the algorithm in order to find the hidden information. Company want to apply the deep learning technique in order to make the application. So for that purpose, we should have the requirement of some technical process. And when we are applying that requirement to technical process on the data, so data is going to give you so many things. Data is going to give you business, and for to make that business, we require the artificial intelligence world. From that data, you should require some algorithm to find hidden information, and to perform this task, you should have the good computer system to perform that task. So more computational power is required whenever you are having the billion data set available to perform some task. So more computational power is required. When I'm talking about the computational power, so believe only on two words: one is processor capacity, and one is memory capacity. These two things you should have in a very good way. Okay. After that, whenever you are having the knowledge, technical knowledge of algorithm, so you are having the better understanding of algorithm, and you are putting on that data, and data is going to give you so many application, and from that so many application, companies are making the business. So that is a demand of AI nowadays in the company. That means we should require the more computational power. That means good computer we want. We are having the huge volume of data generation in the world. We are having the effective algorithm nowadays in the world of machine learning and deep learning, and there is a broad investment nowadays in the world of AI. Every company is putting the $1 billion project in the world of artificial intelligence. Hence it is said by so many multinational companies and so many universities that next 10 years is the era of AI. Every other technology is merging with the AI in order to solve so many problems. So there is a huge demand of artificial intelligence in the world. So after understanding the artificial intelligence, we are having the three objectives in the world of AI. That is called as the types of AI. What are the types of AI? There are the three types of artificial intelligence. Every company are following this. First type is called as artificial intelligence weak AI. I already explained on the first day, but today is the world of AI. We are teaching the AI, so it is necessary to go again. Artificial intelligence weak AI, that is called as narrow AI. Second is called as the general AI or strong AI, and third is called as a super intelligence. So again, I am saying the same thing. When we are talking about making the artificial intelligence product, at that time we are comparing the artificial intelligence product with the human being. And when you will find that your machine is not capable of beating the human being, that means machine learning is a machine is lagging behind the human being. That type of AI is called as narrow AI. That means when you will compare the artificial intelligence machine with human being, and artificial intelligence machine is lagging behind the human being, that kind of application is called as the narrow AI and weak AI. And nowadays all the world is in the domain of narrow AI only. Still we didn't make any machine which is completely capable of thinking and feeling like human beings. Now the second objective of the company in the world is they want to make such a machine which feels emotions like human being, which will feel the taste of food when the machine is eating something, for example. That kind of AI is called as a strong AI or general AI. General AI means when machine is exactly behaving like human. So that is the category of strong AI, and many companies are putting their hard effort in order to make the strong AI. $1 billion investment has been done on this topic, how to make a general AI or strong AI. And the third category, which is said as artificial super intelligence, a day when machine learning will surpasses or artificial intelligence surpasses the human being. That means machine will be ahead than human being in all aspects. Either it is emotion detection, food means testing of food identification, and so on. So that is the process of super intelligence. And these categories are there in the world, where narrow AI means we are making such a machine which is lagging behind as compared to human being. And after that we are making the strong AI, where we are making the machine exactly equal to human being. And the third category is called as artificial super intelligence, which is much more danger according to the many CEOs of the world, that machine learning is going to surpass the human being. That is a super intelligence. So these are the three types of artificial intelligence nowadays companies are working on. And finally, our today's main motto, where artificial intelligence depend on two things, that is machine learning and deep learning. So today our main focus is, what do you mean by deep learning? Why there is a necessity to learn deep learning? What is the meaning of deep learning in the company, and so on? So we will see all this process in a very good way. So deep learning, as I said, we are getting the motivation from human being, that how human being is performing their task, how the brain of human being is working. That is the motivation behind the deep learning world. So by taking this motivation, the need of deep learning is very easy. But in the need of deep learning, I already told you that we are learning the machine learning also before deep learning. So in the world of machine learning, there are certain drawbacks. What are the drawbacks of machine learning? You should know. This is an interview question in the company. What are the drawbacks of machine learning? The drawback of machine learning is that whenever you are giving the huge volume of data to machine, so machine learning is learning from that data. I am talking here machine learning concept, that four algorithms. So whenever you are giving the data to that four algorithm, machine is learning from that, and accuracy of machine you are observing. So a point will come, if you are increasing the data more to the company, and sorry, to the machine learning, if you are feeding the more data to the machine learning, a point will come where the performance of machine learning will be saturated. That means accuracy will be saturated. If you are giving the more amount of data, accuracy will be constant. So that is a drawback of machine learning. This should not happen. If more data is given to the machine for learning, machine should learn in the most effective way, and machine output should be also in the most effective way. But it is observed in the world of machine learning that at certain amount of time it is giving the good accuracy, but after that, if you are increasing the amount of data to the machine learning giving the saturation, that means constant accuracy. This should not be happen, and this is removed with by the deep learning world. This kind of drawback is removed by the deep learning world. Deep learning world is called as the data hungry world. Deep learning is very famous in the company. It is a data hungry world. So if you are increasing the amount of data to deep learning is accuracy is also increasing as the amount of data increasing. So the drawback of machine learning is very simple. Machine learning cannot handle the huge volume of data. Another drawback of machine learning is, again, there are another drawback of machine learning. Whenever we are giving the huge features in the data, features means what? Number of column, high dimensional data. If you are giving to the machine learning, so in the machine learning, we have to require a feature engineering that have to be done manually. So machine learning cannot handle the high dimensional data. There is a curse of dimensionality there in the world of machine learning. So machine learning does not handle the high dimensional data, whereas the deep learning world can handle the high dimensional data. High dimensional data means what? 2 crore row and 20,000 column. Deep learning can handle very easily, but machine learning will face the problem. I am again repeating my word. Suppose let's take example, you are having the data set of 2 crore row and 20 lakh column. If you feed to the machine learning algorithm, might be machine learning algorithm will get crashed. But in the deep learning, this is not the case. Deep learning can learn from very effectively. So the drawback of machine learning is that it cannot handle the high dimensional data. And same thing, the in that high dimensional data, we have to do a feature extraction in the machine learning. That is a very challenging part, because feature is the most important part in the world of algorithms. If you are giving the good features to learn, the machine or anything will learn very properly. But if you are not giving the good features, so machine will not learn properly. So in the world of machine learning, feature extracted to be done. But in the world of deep learning, there is no need to do a feature extraction. Deep learning itself taking the care of feature extraction. That is the powerful advantage of deep learning. So finally, we can say that if you compare the machine learning and deep learning, in the deep learning, you can feed high amount of data, you can feed the high dimensional data, or you can give a feature extraction to the deep learning. Deep learning will automatically do the feature extraction. But in the case of machine learning, this is different. In the machine learning world, you have to do the feature extraction manually, and then you want to go for the application. So that is the world of machine learning, and this is the world of deep learning. Now welcome to the world of deep learning, where deep learning is itself capable of doing the feature extraction and giving the applications. So this is the deep learning world. So finally, when you will compare the deep learning and machine learning, so the data requirement for deep learning is very high, and the machine learning is trained on a lesser amount of data. Accuracy of deep learning is very high. Machine learning will give the saturated amount of accuracy. Training time, deep learning will take more time to train, and machine learning will take less time to train. Machine learning is that all four types. And hardware dependency. For a deep learning world, you should have a system where GPU is available. If your laptop is having the GPU, so you can run the deep learning algorithm very easily. But on the machine learning, a laptop or computer system with CPU can also work. In the hyperparameter tuning, in the deep learning world, we can having the so many hyperparameter available. In the world of machine learning, we are having the limited hyperparameter available. So this is the comparison of deep learning and machine learning. Deep learning world is called as a data hungry world. So after that, as I said, the requirement of deep learning for artificial intelligence is very simple. You should have the computer with GPU processor. And let's take an example. If you are not having that system with the GPU processor, alternate solution is available, that we are going to use the Google Colab. Google Colab is the cloud computing services provided by Google company free of cost. Okay, so we are going to use the GPU of Google company, where it is given with the help of Google Colab. I will let you know after the end of my webinar what is the Google Colab. So just remember, if you are not having the GPU processor also, don't worry, then also you can perform the task on Google Colab very easily. So this is the system requirement of AI world. Now let's enter into the world of deep learning, where, as I said, deep learning is capable of handling high dimensional data and huge amount of data, and deep learning is capable of doing the feature engineering itself. Deep learning is going to do the feature extraction from all the amount of data by itself. That is the world of deep learning. Now let's enter into the world of deep learning. What is deep learning? As I said, we are taking the motivation from human brain. Deep learning is the study of neural network. And from where the neural network concept came? Neural network concept came from by taking the motivation of human brain. Human brain, how human brain is functioning. Scientists has observed that, and by observing, scientists came to know that in our human body there are billion neurons are available. Billion neurons. Those who are very responsible for communicating any task. So by taking and by understanding the functionality of biological neuron, scientists has taken the inspiration from that, and they are decided to make a artificial neuron. So that is the deep learning world. Deep learning world is the study of neural network. So deep learning, nothing but deep learning mimics the way brain function, and from that brain, scientists came to know that our neuron is working the brain, and according to it, scientists has made one artificial neuron, and that is called as the artificial neural network, AN. From where that neural word came from neuron, from brain, our human body. Neuron is working, and from that word neuron concept came into the picture, and that today we are going to learn that what is the working of neural network and so on, and how the brain is functioning. So scientists came to know that in the world of deep learning, this is the biological neuron. Okay, this is the biological neuron, one neuron architecture. Okay, inside the brain. In this architecture, we will find that there is a one cell body is available at the center. So cell body is responsible of performing the task, and that dendroid is responsible for receiving the signal. And here one axon body is there, which is responsible for sending the signal. So in order to understand the world of deep learning and machine learning we already learned. So in order to understand the working of deep learning, very primary step is to understand the working of biological one neuron. Only one. I'm not talking about billion neuron, because one neuron working is similar to billion neuron working. Okay. So just basic unit of the brain is neuron. This is the neuron. In this neuron, there are three types. That means dendrite. Dendrite which receive signal from other neuron. After that, cell body which is functioning and doing the task operation of all the received signal, and axon is used to send that signal to the other neuron. So dendrite is used for receiving signal, cell body is used for performing the task, and axon body is used for sending the signal. That is the biological neuron. And by looking these features in the mind, scientists has made the perceptron, which is called as the world first neural network. Again, I am repeating, by taking the motivation of one biological neuron, scientist has made one artificial neuron. That artificial neuron is called as first perceptron in the world. First artificial neural is called as perceptron. And how that perceptron look like? This is the first artificial neural network of the world. This is the architecture, and this is a scientific architecture. This is not biological. This is scientific architecture we engineers made. So it indicates that this is a perceptron, which is the world first neural network. To enter into the world of deep learning, you want to understand the working of perceptron in most easy way. Here also same thing. We are having the different input. In this diagram, you can observe x1, x2, and xn, so on. That are the inputs. And here that weighted sum is called as the cell body. And that step function is also a part of cell body, and output is called as a dendrite, where we want to send this signal. This is the perceptron. So it indicates that by comparing this biological neuron and artificial neuron, this is the diagram where we have taken the inspiration for artificial neuron and we are making the one artificial neural network. So the name of neural network came from the biological neuron. So this is the case. Now we will understand how one artificial neural network work. That is called as a perceptron. And that perceptron, as I said, this is the perceptron. In the perceptron, there are 4 points to note down. Please note down all the participants if you are having the notepad. So in the perceptron, concentrate on 4 parameters. First parameter is the input value. That is x1, x3 parameter you want to observe in the world of machine learning, sorry, deep learning, is that weight and biases. Weight and biases, the second category. Third category, you want to do that how that all weight and biases are multiply and sum up together. That is called as a net sum, cell body of biological neuron. And that activation function is also a part of biological, that is cell body, that by combination of that activation function, we are taking the decision. How the perceptron is working? So very simple. How the perceptron is working? Perceptron is having the input signal, that is x1, x2, and 1. Each input signal multiplied by the weight. That means we are assigning some number to that input, x1 one weight w1, x2 some weight w2, and so on. And this input x1 is get multiplied with that weight x1 w1. Again second input is multiplied with that weight x2 w2, and so on. And when all weight and input get multiplied, we are giving that process to the summation body. The summation body will add all this process x1 w1 plus x2 w2 plus, and they will add bias. Will add bias, and this result x1 w1 plus x2 w2 plus so on plus bias, that result they are giving to the activation function. That is a process in the activation function is used for bringing the non-linearity. So that activation function will take some decision, and that decision will be sent by the dendrite, that is called as output. So this is the working of perceptron. In the perceptron working, first what we are doing, we are multiplying the input with each weight, and after multiplying the each input with each weight, we are doing the summation of all that. And by doing the summation, we are having one answer. That answer we are giving to activation body, and that activation function will perform some non-linearity task, and that answer we are giving as a output. That is the working of perceptron. One neuron working, one neuron working. So the thing is very simple. By combining all input signal multiplied by n plus s, they are by with the help of summation, and finally we are giving to that overall process to activation function. So activation function is majorly responsible for bringing non-linearity process in the neural network, and output is given for the further process. So these are the activation functions people are using in the world of artificial intelligence and deep learning. Note down or take the screenshot. These are the activation function, in which most favorite activation function is ReLU. Okay, today my intention is not go to the technicality of activation function because it will take more time. So just I am showing that these are the activation function that you people are going to deal with when you will learn our activation function. So these are the activation function: linear activation function, binary step activation function, sigmoid or logistic activation function, tanh, that is tangent activation function, that is called as a tangent hyperbolic, ReLU activation function, and softmax. Okay, all these activation function main task objective. If anyone asks you what is the meaning of activation function, in a single line, just say in a single line, activation function is used to add non-linearity in the network. That's it. That's it. Activation functions are used to add non-linearity in the network. That is activation function. And if someone asks what are the types of activation functions, so these are the types of activation function, in which most favorite activation function is ReLU, and after that softmax and sigmoid activation function we are using in the output layer. I will come on that point also. So these are the activation function which is bringing the non-linearity in the network. And finally these are the weights and biases. As I told you, weights shows the strength of signal, that is input signal. If I said that x1 w1 x2 w2, if w1 is 2 and w2 is 1, so w2 is having the higher weight, that is showing the strength of that particular signal, that is the weight. And biases allows you to shift the activation function to ups and down. Okay, similarly in the case of intercept, y is equal to mx plus b, where b is the intercept. If you will put the value of b, then y is equal to mx, that is the equation line which is passing through the origin. So similarly we have to add the constant bias also in the terms of neural network world, where it is allowing to shift the activation function. So that is biases. So by knowing the working of this activation function and all, as I said, activation function is used to bring the non-linearity, and non-linearity output is in the way of 0 and 1 value, like that, or -1 to 1. So these are the need of activation function in the neural network. After understanding the working of this overall process, so these are the working of the first artificial neural network, which is perceptron. And the objective of perceptron is very clear. Perceptron is usually used to classify the data into two parts. It is very famous for the linear binary classification, 0 and 1, yes or no, true or false. So binary classification purpose, perceptron is very useful. But perceptron is only one neuron or one neural network. So the drawback of perceptron is that only with the help of one neuron, we cannot make a big application in the world of deep learning. Okay, again I'm repeating that if in our overall human body there is only one neuron, so we people are dead. We people cannot function, because in the human body billions neurons are there. Similarly, in the world of artificial intelligence, if there is only one perceptron is there, so it is not possible to make the application. So to go for the higher application, we required a more perceptron. So single layer perceptron cannot perform the non-linear task and the complex task. This is the limitation of perceptron. So after having the limitation of perceptron, we are going for the multi-layer perceptron. Okay, we are going for learning the multi-layer perceptron. So multi-layer perceptron is nothing but a combination of single perceptron. Okay, we are doing the stretching of that. So in this diagram, this is the architecture of multi-layer perceptron. Here you are observing there are 4 layers: input layer, 2 hidden layer, and 1 output layer. Every circle is 1 perceptron. Again, I am repeating here, every circle indicating 1 perceptron, and by combining all the perceptron together in the different fashion, we are making the multi-layer perceptron architecture. And here by combining this all perceptron together, by performing some complex task, then we can say that we can make some complex application. So in the world of multi-layer perceptron, 3 layers are very famous. Input layer should be compulsory, hidden layer will be there, and output layer is there. In between input layer and output layer, hidden layer is present. Okay, so in this diagram, just for an example, there are 2 hidden layer. One is the input layer. This is the input layer having the 4 neuron in the layer, 4 neuron. This is neuron 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 2 hidden layer. In the 2 hidden layer, first hidden layer is having 3 neuron, that is 3 perceptron. In the second hidden layer, we are having 4 perceptron. And in the final, this is the output layer is having the 2 neurons, that is 2 perceptron. So by combining the perceptron in the different fashion, we are making the multi-layer perceptron. So instead of using the word perceptron, we can use the word neuron only, neuron. So this is called as the architecture of multi-layer perceptron. So to enter into the world of multi-layer perceptron, it is very necessary to understand the working. So multi-layer perceptron is having the 2 types of working. One is called as a forward propagation and one is called as a backward propagation. But in the world of deep learning, why the name has been given deep learning? In the deep learning world, break the word into 2 parts. What do you mean by deep in deep learning? Okay, so deep meaning in the deep learning is number of hidden layer. In this, suppose we are having the 2 hidden layer, so it is a 2-layer deep network, or 2 hidden layers are available, so only 2 layers are available. If we are increasing the hidden layer up to 10, first hidden layer, second hidden layer, third hidden layer up to 10, then your architecture again become deep. That's called as deep meaning in the deep learning world. If number of hidden layer is increasing, so your architecture is deep. Okay, that is the deep meaning in the deep learning world. So more hidden layer, more deep architecture. Less hidden layer, less deep architecture. So that is the meaning of deep in the world of deep learning. If you are having the more hidden layer, so your architecture is very deep, and less hidden layer means architecture is less deep. So that is the deep learning in the world of multi-layer perceptron and ANN. And finally, as I said, multi-layer perceptron is having the three layer compulsory: input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. Okay, so to understand the working of this multi-layer perceptron, two types are there. One is called as a forward propagation and one is called as a backward propagation. Always remember, understand first the working of multi-layer perceptron into two categories. What we are going to do in forward propagation and what we are going to do in backward propagation. So this is the architecture of multi-layer perceptron, where one input layer is there, hidden layer is there, and output layer is there. So always remember, in the forward propagation, we are processing the signal from input to output. That is, from input to output processing is called as forward propagation. Note down, input to output processing is called as the forward propagation, and input to output processing means what? Suppose we are performing a task, any task. So we are giving the input for that task. That task is processing through the neural network, that is this neural network, and that task is giving the output. Finally, that output we are comparing with the actual output, because we are predicting here. So forward propagation means predicting. Input to output processing for prediction. That prediction we are comparing with the actual value, and we are getting the error. That if your prediction and your actual value are not same, so you will get error. And in the backward propagation, we are performing the other task in order to reduce the error. So again, I am repeating, forward propagation is for predictive analysis, input to output processing is called as predictive analysis, and in the backward propagation we are doing the reducing the error. That processing we are doing in the backward propagation. So forward propagation means very simple: predict the process, whatever the task you are having, predict the process according to that. And in the backward propagation, whatever that we are getting after prediction, you want to perform the backward propagation, and you want to change something in the neuron, in the architecture. And what you are changing in that architecture? The value of weight and biases. And again, you are performing the forward propagation until and unless error is reduced. So backward propagation is done in order to reduce the error. How we are going to reduce the error? By changing the parameter of neural network. And what are those parameter? Parameter is called as a weight and biases. So backward propagation is very famous in the industry, which is used for calculating the error. And might be in the world of deep learning, this question may be asked to you people during the interview. What is backward propagation? Sir, reducing the error. Whatever the processing is used for reducing the error, that is backward propagation. How we are reducing the error? They will ask the question. So you can say that first forward propagation is done for prediction. One value is predicted. We are comparing that value with the actual value. We will get error. And after calculating the error, in order to minimize that error, we are going in the backward propagation with the help of gradient descent algorithm. Note down here, working of gradient descent, most favorite interview questions of the deep neural network or deep learning. So with the help of gradient descent process, we are going to optimize the parameter, that is the value of weight and biases. And again, after optimizing, we are doing the forward propagation, and this iterative process is continued till you are getting the less error. That is called as a backward propagation. So after knowing the working of forward propagation and backward propagation, multi-layer perceptron is having the two types. One is called as a sequential model and one is called as a functional model. And that multi-layer perceptron model is called as ANN, artificial neural network. Okay, so from where the word came ANN? ANN came from the structure of multi-layer perceptron. So multi-layer perceptron, you are having the flexibility to design the architecture. You are designing one input layer, two hidden layer, one output layer. You are designing one input layer, 10 hidden layer, one output layer. So that is a flexibility we are having. So that is called as an artificial neural network. And we are having the two types of model or designing process in ANN. One is a sequential model and one is functional model. Note down again, very important. Sequential model and functional model. What do you mean by sequential model? Sequential model means we are going in continuing, input layer is connected to the next hidden layer. That hidden layer is connected to next hidden layer. I will show you the help of diagram. This is called as a sequential model, where we are having the three layer in this architecture: one input layer, one hidden layer, one output layer. You can observe one neuron is connected to all other neuron in the next hidden layer. Similarly, in the hidden layer, that all neuron present in the hidden layer is connected to all neuron in the output layer. So this is called as a sequential modeling. We are connecting the one hidden layer neuron to the other hidden layer neuron. We are connecting all the neuron of input to the all the neuron of hidden layer. So this is a sequential modeling. This is the architecture of sequential modeling. Similarly, if you can go for the next type, this is the again sequential modeling. Observe here, we are putting the layer stacking. Layer stacking means layer by layer are connected together. That is sequential modeling. This is we are doing in the world of deep learning. Very important. Before making so many application, first decide which type of modeling you are doing, sequential or functional. So this is a sequential modeling architecture. And what do you mean by functional API? Functional API means if we are having the neuron connected to the other one, but in this case we are giving the feedback also to the previous layer to the first layer, and we are giving any type of connection. That means in this diagram we are having the one input layer, two hidden layer, and one output layer. Okay, so two neuron of inputs are connected to the first hidden layer, then first hidden layer is connected to second hidden layer, and so on. But you can observe here, in that hidden layer, second hidden layer, one output is coming to the first hidden layer. That is a functional API. In the second hidden layer, one output of second hidden layer is again came back to the first hidden layer. That process is the functional API. Okay, so these are the two modeling process we are using in the world of deep learning and artificial neural network. So after knowing the meaning of this functional API and this API, we are going for the major architecture in the world of deep neural network. What are those major architectures of the deep neural network? These are the major architecture. Please note down. These are the major architecture in the world of deep learning or artificial neural network. That is unsupervised network, unsupervised architecture, convolutional neural network, recurrent neural network, recursive neural network, and so on. These are the major architecture. Whereas unsupervised pre-trained neural network is having the three types again: autoencoder, deep belief network, GAN, generative adversarial network. This is the unsupervised machine learning or unsupervised deep learning. So in this unsupervised deep learning, these are the three categories. This architecture is separate. So for the information, I am giving this slide to you. That means I am explaining this. This is one of the major architecture. After that, the second major architecture, very famous in the world of deep learning. Whenever you will learn the deep learning, you have to learn this architecture compulsory: convolutional neural network. So this is the convolutional neural network. In the convolutional neural network, it is very similar to the structure of ANN with the one difference. In the ANN, what we are having input layer, multiple hidden layer and output layer. But in the convolutional neural network, we are having input layer and output layer for sure, but hidden layer is designing in this three category. That is, in the hidden layer, you should have the convolutional layer, pooling layer, and fully connected layer. If you are designing the hidden layer in this process, you are having the convolutional layer as a hidden layer, pooling layer as a hidden layer, and fully connected layer as a hidden layer, then that kind of architecture is called as a convolutional neural network. Very easy. Convolutional neural network is again, all the architecture of deep learning is having the three layer compulsory: input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. But whatever the facility you are assigning to that hidden layer, then the different architecture are possible in the world of deep learning. And one of the architecture is this convolutional neural network. So in the convolutional neural network, as I said, you are having the input layer, convolutional layer, pooling layer, fully connected layer, and output layer. So convolutional layer is this, where we are having the filter assigning to the any task, and we are doing the feature extraction. I'm not going in the deep technicality, just for information I am showing, because to explain the convolutional layer technically, it require minimum to minimum 3 hours of time. Okay, so convolutional layer is there. Then after that, we are having the pooling layer in the convolutional neural network. Pooling layer is used for reducing the features. Only just remember, pooling layer means we are reducing the features. That is the pooling layer. These are the three types of pooling layer: max pooling, average pooling, and sum pooling. After that, fully connected layer. Fully connected layer is used to flatten the layer at the output, flatten the layer at the output. That is fully connected layer. And by combining these three layers together, that is input layer is compulsory. After that, hidden layer. In the hidden layer, three layer. convolutional layer, pulling layer, and fully connected layer. How we are designing that layer, then we are making the convolutional neural network. And these are the process of convolutional neural network, where we are having any application, that is image recognition, image classification, object detection. We are doing with the help of convolutional neural network very easily. So in this, we are having one input, then we are giving that input to the convolutional layer, then we are giving the output of convolutional layer to pooling layer, then so on, and after that fully connected layer, and that finally output layer. So this is called as a designing. And there is no thumb rule that this number of layers should be present, then only output will be higher, this number of neuron. No, all are research work. It is up to you. Suppose one task is given to me and you people parallelly, you and me is having the knowledge of deep learning, and we are not connected together. That means your communication and my communication is not going on, and you are also performing that task by application of CNN. I am also performing that task application of CNN. Then after performing task, we will observe that you have used the 4 hidden layer, I have used the 6 hidden layer. So that is the process. The person approach is different, task is same. So according to that, we people are doing the project in the companies. So that is the process of convolutional neural network. Okay, this is again the convolutional network here, where input layer is there, then hidden layer is this convolutional pooling and fully connected and so on, and finally output layer. So this is the architecture of CNN, convolutional neural network. Same convolutional neural network. After that, we are having the recurrent neural network. Recurrent neural network architecture is like this. We are having the input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. In the hidden layer, we are getting the feedback from the previous layer out to the another previous layer. Okay. So in the architecture of recurrent neural network, we are having the feedback analysis. And that recurrent neural network is very useful for all those applications where data is sequential in nature. That is, the output depend on the previous input. Output depend on the previous input. So in that case, the recurrent neural network is mostly used. Finally, recursive neural network architecture. These are the architecture of recursive neural network. And finally, we are having the, in the deep learning world, we are having the two more favorite use cases, that is computer vision, the project related to images and video, and natural language processing, all the project related to text, speech, and audio. So for that purpose, in the world of deep learning, whenever you will see the job description of the company, so you will find that in the company, in the deep learning, they will ask this job description. Person should have the skills in computer vision. Person should have the skills in natural language processing, because these two categories are very booming in the industry nowadays. Computer vision means what? All the project which is related to images and video majority. And natural language processing means what? All the project related to text, speech, audio. Alexa is the product of natural language processing. Alexa, Siri, okay, whatever the Google translation you are doing by audio to text, that is NLP. Computer vision means what? Image detection, image recognition, object detection, automatic Facebook. In the Facebook, when you are putting your image, so Facebook is automatically recognizing your face or doing the tagging. That is the application of computer vision. And others task is also available. Robotics task is there. We want to make some robot with the combination of computer vision technology and natural language processing. So the use cases is the third category, which is miscellaneous. But the major two categories are computer vision and NLP. So in the computer vision, as I said, all we are doing the task with the help of images and video. Okay. And how our brain is performing that task. Similarly, according to the brain, we are making the deep neural architecture, and our brain is performing that task in the most similar way. So computer vision is very similar, very famous. I request all the participants, when you will go sequence wise, make the project in the computer vision also, in the case of images and videos both. So that is the world of computer vision. And finally, in the computer vision, as I said, so many applications are available with the images and video. So many applications, all types of industry, agricultural industries, space industry, space technology. Okay, many industries are using this computer vision technology for their applications. After that, we are having the RNN for natural language processing. As I said, RNN architecture, feedback analysis. Language means what? Right now, we human beings are interacting by some language. Right now, you and me are interacting with the help of this webinar. I am the speaker and I am talking in English language, and you are understanding the English language. So two human beings are understanding the language, that is a natural language. Natural language may be anything: English, Spanish, Germany, Hindi, Marathi, and anything. Natural language meaning means what? The two human beings are interacting with each other by some language, that is a natural language. And the same phenomenon we want to observe and interpret with the help of machine. Machine should understand and interact with human, not with the help of programming, with the help of directly speaking also. So Alexa is a very great example. To interact with Alexa, you are not writing the programming and interacting with Alexa. You are directly asking the Alexa, "Hi Alexa, how are you?" and play this song. That is a natural language processing word. And natural language processing world is also having the so many job available in the market. Chatbot. Chatbot means is the one of the application of NLP. Many industries are making the chatbot because industry cannot hire a person who can sit in the website 24 hours and do the chatting with their customer. So companies are making the chatbot who are 24 hours and 24 by 7 hours available for any query of the customer. So that is the process. So in the natural language processing, many use cases we are making: sentimental analysis, virtual assistants, and so on. So that is for that purpose RNN architecture is used, and this is the use cases in the industry. So as I said, finally, in the artificial intelligence, what is artificial intelligence? A bigger umbrella. In the bigger umbrella, machine learning is the subset. We have gone through the machine learning from the last 3 days. Today we are learning the deep learning. What I said, deep learning is the study of neural network. In the neural network, different architectures are there. According to the architecture, we can make the different application. If we are making the architecture of CNN, application is called as computer vision because it is related to images and video. If we are making the architecture RNN, application is called as the NLP, natural language processing, where the textual data is required. That is the deep learning. So deep learning is the subset of machine learning. And finally, as I said, the third use cases is the robotics field. So in the artificial intelligence, this is the combination we are working. Okay. And hence, to work in the world of artificial intelligence, you should have those skills of machine learning. To have the skills of machine learning, you should know how to clean the data. After that, learn the algorithm mathematically. To have the knowledge of deep learning, you should know the working of all neural network in a very efficient way. Then go for the robotics and all. And this all process will require minimum to minimum 1.5 years to learn. That's what I said you people many times in my workshop. Also, I'm saying that I am not claiming that after listening my workshop you will make a rocket science project. My workshop is organized in order to give you a quality direction how we people are working in the world of machine learning, deep learning, and AI. And I am explaining some project to you people so that you can understand it is very easy to work on. So this is the objective of this workshop, to give the direction, proper direction, because I have observed that many people are directly jumping and learning deep learning architecture without learning perceptron, without learning multi-layer perceptron, and they are having the doubt. Obviously, they will have a doubt because they are not following the rules and regulation. So this is the world of artificial intelligence. And in the world of artificial intelligence, various deep learning architectures available. As I said, it is a research part. You can use 4 hidden layer, you can use 3 hidden layer, you can use any hidden layer. That all are your research oriented part. So in the world of deep learning, various architectures are available. In each architecture, you can observe the hidden layer is different. In one hidden layer, how many neurons are there, that is also you can decide. Okay. So this is the architectures of the world of deep learning. And I request all the participants to follow the sequence. Then only you people will understand the world of deep learning. Otherwise, you will not understand. Okay. And hence, I want that you should become a quality AI engineer in future. So these are all the architecture you are designing in the company. To design this all architecture, we required some technical process. And what are the technical process? That technical process are the framework and the libraries in the world of deep learning. And these are those libraries. Note down. To enter into the world of deep learning, you should have the knowledge of libraries or framework. Then only you can write down the coding in the deep learning world. Coding, don't worry about the coding portion. Directly we can have ready-made also, but you should have the knowledge of how this library is working. And in this slide, I am showing the number of libraries, but do not worry about that. You do not need to learn all these library. Learn only 5 to 6 library. For example, scikit-learn, TensorFlow, Keras, very important. These three are very important. Scikit-learn, TensorFlow, and Keras. If you are having the knowledge of these three library, also you are job ready. Then other library which I have mentioned, PyTorch, CNTK. If you are having that knowledge, it is an additional part. But majority of companies asking Keras, TensorFlow. and scikit-learn. Scikit-learn is a machine learning, but Keras and TensorFlow is the most hot libraries in the world of deep learning. And in order to learn this library, as I said, you want to go TensorFlow is this library made by the Google. Okay, TensorFlow is the higher end mathematics. It is the library made for higher end mathematics. Okay, after that, Keras. Keras is the library. Keras is actually called as the API. Under Keras, TensorFlow is working. Under Keras library, TensorFlow is working. Keras is used to build a model architecture. Keras library is used to make a model or architecture. This is Keras. After that, PyTorch is made by Facebook. You should have the knowledge of PyTorch. PyTorch means it is a different world. This is also a framework or library. But if you are having only the knowledge of Keras and TensorFlow, also you are job ready. Then PyTorch is the library made by Facebook. I am giving this knowledge because you should have the awareness how many libraries are available. Okay. So CNTK made by Microsoft. This is the CNTK library. Theano. Theano is the another framework which is working under Keras. After that, scikit-learn, very famous machine learning. All the algorithms are in the scikit-learn in the machine learning. Majority of the algorithm. Caffe is the another library. After that, MXNet. STO framework and open source machine learning platform. Amazon library, Amazon machine learning. That is when you will enter into the world of AWS. Might be possible you will learn the Amazon machine learning concept. Torch is another process. Google Cloud Engine, Azure, Microsoft Azure. As I said, every company is nowadays following their own machine learning architectures. If you will enter into the world of Microsoft Azure, you will learn the Azure ML Studio. When you will enter into the world of Amazon Web Service, you will enter there. But to enter in this both world, either a Microsoft Azure or AWS, you should have the common knowledge of deep learning, how the neural architecture is working, how the machine learning is working. This is the process you should have in Spark ML. So these are all the libraries I have mentioned where Keras and TensorFlow, please note down on the top. You should have the at least knowledge of Keras and TensorFlow to work in the deep learning world. And after having this all knowledge of this understanding of neural network, perceptron, multi-layer perceptron, forward propagation, backward propagation, architecture of ANN, that is functional AI and sequential AI, then convolutional neural network, RNN, and there's this deep learning knowledge, you people are job ready. And what kind of job role available in this market? This kind of job role available in the market. Data engineer, machine learning engineer, NLP engineer. NLP engineer specifically specified that they are looking for a person who are having the knowledge of natural language processing. That is RNN architecture, LSTM architecture. Under RNN, there are so many architecture. LSTM is there. Computer vision means what? A person, those who are having the huge experience in the world of images and video. That is a computer vision engineer. Data engineer, data analyst, I already speak with you in the first day itself. So these are the various job role available in the world of machine learning. I request all of you to focus on data scientist, because if you are a data scientist, you can work as an NLP engineer. If you are a data scientist, you can work as a computer vision engineer. You can work as a data analyst and so on. So data scientist is the topmost higher package job in the company, data scientist. So and so on. Okay, so this is the process job role. And what are the application we people are making? As I said, we people are surrounded by AI world intentionally and unintentionally every day, either from the Facebook automatic tagging, speaking with Alexa. Okay, whatever the process we are doing in our day-to-day life, we people are surrounded by artificial intelligence world. Hence, it is very necessary to learn this technology, because this is the most dominant technology in the market nowadays. Every company is using this technology. So how we are surrounded by the artificial intelligence world? Chatbot, natural language processing, means language translation we are doing with the help of Google, voice to text, text to voice, and so on. Okay, and many application, prediction process, image recognition. Okay, after that, if the in the surveillance camera in the video, if you want to observe who has wear a mask or not, deep learning process. So there are n number of applications with the help of artificial intelligence world. I request all of you to enter in this world by learning the deep learning in the most efficient way. After that, these are the again more applications, computer vision, NLP, and so on. I already discussed. And these are the speech recognition, automatic machine translation, instant vision translation, and so on. And finally, this is the takeaway. If you want to learn deep learning world, follow these steps. Follow these steps in the most efficient way. Understand the working of first biological neuron, only one neuron. Then understand the working of artificial neuron. First artificial neuron in the world is called as perceptron. Understand the working of perceptron. From the working of perceptron, you are having the three parameter, very important: weight, bias, and activation function. Understand the objective of weight, bias, and activation function. Once you understood this, then learn multi-layer perceptron. In the multi-layer perceptron, learn first forward propagation in most efficient way, how the prediction has been done. After learning the prediction, error is calculated, and then follow the backward propagation in order to reduce that error with the help of gradient descent concept. Understand that. This is an interview question, gradient descent in the company. Then after understanding this overall process of multi-layer perceptron, then you can design your ANN architecture. One hidden layer, sorry, one input layer, four hidden layer, one output layer, one input layer, six hidden layer, and one output layer. It is up to you. You can design any hidden layer. Understand that working. After understanding the working of ANN, there are two types: sequential model and functional model. Understand that concept. After only understanding that concept, then enter into the world of convolutional neural network and recurrent neural network. And after understanding the CNN, RNN, basically mathematically, then do some baby step project. Don't do rocket science project, do small project. And after understanding the small project in very efficient way, then only you can go for making the big project and internship and case study. I have observed so many students, they are not having the knowledge of data cleaning and they are performing the very big project, very dangerous. Many student approaches me with a half knowledge. Sir, I am not having the knowledge of data cleaning and I want to predict this. This is an extremely wrong process. I am very not happy by observing this. So follow the sequence and note, understanding all this process mathematically will make you data scientist. This is the takeaway in the world of deep learning world. So you want to learn this process in the most efficient way. So what we have learned today, we have learned today how we are getting the motivation to make such a machine which exactly behave like human, because human beings are very good in image recognition, object detection, emotion feeling, and so on. So our objective is make a machine also to do the same task: emotion recognition, object detection, and so on. And to make that task, we are learning the deep learning and AI, and we have gone through the so many process today in the world of deep learning. Initially, we have started a motivation. What are the drawback of machine learning world? What is the drawback of machine learning? Machine learning cannot handle the huge volume of data. If you feed the huge volume of data to machine, accuracy will be saturated. Then from that drawback, again one drawback of machine learning, feature extraction you have to do. But in the world of deep learning, there is no need to do that. So all we have observed today, and in a very sequence, I have given you the guidance today. I haven't given the guidance mathematically, that I understood, because you also understood that within 1 hour mathematics cannot be learned. If you are having that expectation that I can teach you within 1 hour mathematics, then I am also in the wrong domain and you are also in the wrong domain. Don't keep such type of expectation. First understand the basics, then go slowly, because you want to achieve a quality. Don't go fast, because deep learning and machine learning is not a 2020 cricket match. Okay, so we have gone through the overall process in the most efficient way today. Guidelines is very simple to go into the world of deep learning. This is the motivation. Then we have gone through the drawback of machine learning. Then we have gone through the process comparison of deep learning, machine learning, system requirement, what doing by deep learning from the by taking the motivation for biological neuron. Then we understood the very few concept of biological neuron within 5 to 10 minutes, major application. From that, they have motivated and they have make one perceptron by taking the inspiration for biological neuron. Perceptron working we have gone through. We have observed how many concepts are available with perceptron: input layer, weight, biases, activation function. Then you can go, what is the necessity of activation function, what is the mathematical functions of all activation function, and so on. And then drawback of that perceptron is that by a single perceptron you cannot make the complex application. Then this drawback is removed by multi-layer perceptron. And multi-layer perceptron is having these three layer fixed: input, hidden, and output is fixed. Hidden layer you can decide anything, and one hidden layer is a less deep, two hidden layer is more deep, 10 hidden layer is again highly deep architecture. So that deep meaning means what? Number of hidden layer if you are increasing, so more deep is the architecture. That is the meaning of deep in the deep learning. Number of hidden layer is more deep is the architecture. So that we have gone through. Then we have gone through the process of forward propagation for calculating the prediction. Therefore, backward propagation is to reducing the error, and this we are doing with the help of gradient descent. Understand that. After that, sequential and functional model. Sequential model means fully interconnected with each other. First layer is connected to the second layer. Second layer is connected to the third layer in the layer stacking. That is sequential modeling. In the functional modeling, first layer is connected to second layer is connected to third. Again, third layer is giving the feedback to the second layer. So in that way, functional modeling is we are working. Then major architecture, unsupervised neural network. That is autoencoder, Debian, and JAN. Then convolutional neural network we have gone through. Then we have gone through RNN. Convolutional neural network very famous for images and video analytics. That is computer vision. Convolutional neural RNN is also called as convolutional neural only, but in the RNN we are using the feedback architecture, and hence it is very useful for those application which is having the dependency that current value depend on previous value. Okay, so that kind of process we are doing with RNN. So we have gone through that, and finally we came to know the different use cases, broad domain of deep learning, computer vision and NLP. Computer vision related to images and video, NLP related to our talking, human being talking in any language, text, speech, and audio. Third domain is the others, that is the field of robotics and so on. And finally, we came to know this computer vision, then RNA, then artificial intelligence, broader domain. To work into the world of artificial intelligence, you should have this knowledge. And finally, what are the different architecture, libraries involved, and then job roles. So this we have learned today. And in order to go for Google Colab, as I say, in the Google Colab process, what you will do, you will go to the Google, you will write down Google Colab. If your system is not having the GPU, write down Google Colab. Like this. After entering into the Google Colab world, this Google Colab is giving the free facility to for you people, that Google Colab is providing the GPU, cloud computing. This is the Google Colab. Go into this Google Colab. Whatever the code you are writing in the Jupyter Notebook, you can write down in the Google Colab also. So this is the process you people have to do in the world of deep learning, machine learning, and this overall process. And tomorrow I am going to explain the first perceptron working. Okay, by mathematically, that means by executing the code. Then we will on the day 6 we will do a one very good project of deep learning world. Tomorrow we will see the face detection using the OpenCV library and so on. So in this way, you people can watch the video on that YouTube also, how to work on the Google Colab process, because it will take more time to explain on this process. Just I have given you the direction that how Google Colab is useful in the industry, because if you are not having the GPU computer, then you can go for Google Colab. So this is the overall process, guys. So what we want to do, if you want to learn the world of machine learning, deep learning, and AI in most efficient way, how you want to start the process? First, learn the topic of your project. After learning the topic of your project, collect the data related to project. Then perform the data science first. Data science is extremely important in the world of machine learning and deep learning, because data pre-processing is very important. If you are doing the good data pre-processing, in the data pre-processing 5 process you want to do. Cleaning the data, that means missing value treatment. Second, outlier treatment. Third, converting the non-numerical column to numerical column. Then you are doing the feature extraction and standardization. This 5 process is called as a data cleaning in the company. Be good in the data cleaning. After doing the data cleaning, enter into the world of machine learning, mathematically understand all algorithm. Then we enter into the world of deep learning and follow this roadmap. Follow this roadmap in the most efficient way mathematically. Surely you will get a job in company. So this is all about my today's session. If you are having any doubt, please approach me. And now you are ready to ask doubt. I am open for solving the doubt. Thank you very much. Ask me the doubt if you are having any doubt. Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir. Ask the student to ask me the doubt.
Okay, sir. If any participants, if you have any doubts, you please raise your hand so that I can unmute you. Our chat box is enabled now. You can type your query in the chat box. And feedback form is also in the chat box only. You can fill it.
Tomorrow practical session of deep learning and AI. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, practical, because today it is very important.